So this isn't your first time you've played a character with a deep faith. What attracts you to these characters that religion is at the core of their being? Are you a spiritual person?
I am a spiritual person, but I was raised completely atheist. So it's funny that I end up playing on these fanatics in terms of faith. But there is, of course, something very interesting about it because in I guess in Jacqueline's case, the church is, and is for many people, I think, but for her especially, is an escapism. And we'll find out later why. But she is a believer, but she needs to be there because there's too much stuff going on inside of her to deal with if she's outside the church. That's her, to get her mind calm, basically. So yeah, I like I'm always attracted by people that try to push things away, like we all do. We all try to not feel things, not look at things, not look the demons in the eye. But of course, that's all going to come out at some point, and it's only a matter of time. And who will spark that? And in our story, of course, the meeting with Valmont is the starting point of the unraveling for.
It seems Belmont has a soft spot for religious women,
Or
I've
ladies.
noticed. Yeah. How do you play someone who is maybe morally questionable and still keep the audience on your side? Because I think you do so well. Like Jacqueline feels very sympathetic. So how do you achieve that?
Well, I think I've always, with any character, I try to, we all are the good, the bad, and the ugly. We all are the wolf and Little Red Riding Hood. So there's no one color to any of us, and um, and I like to that's my job. I like to create that layer, the cake, with the different layers. You see the nice white topping, and then underneath is all the darkness, and there's all the guilt and the fear and then the suppression and the so it's something that I'd like to put my teeth in. uh, and yeah, it's I like to make people that don't come across sympathetic straight away, to give them an insight of why maybe they have become the way they have become.
So what was it about this show that made you want to be a part of it? Were you a fan of the book or the play or the movie or
I
all of
mean,
the
I've
above?
seen the movie a million years ago, and I still have sort of vivid images in my head of that. Um, but I was mostly, I guess, drawn into the story by the fact that Harriet had written it, who I really admire, and Leonora Lonsdale was a young, upcoming female director who was so full of fire, and then the fact that they chose Alice and Nicholas as the main characters, who have such an amazing uh, chemistry, not only together but also separately, and that has a complete ripple effect on the vibe of the show. And yeah, it was a very special atmosphere there. There was a beautiful wildness about it. I don't know how else to explain it. There's just not that sort of typical actor vibe. No, it just, when actors are open, I like when actors are open to try things. And maybe it's because they're young, but it's also their being.
Yeah, it really comes across on the screen. Like it feels so alive. So what was your favorite thing about playing Jacqueline and existing in this world?
Well, to show someone who is so locked up in herself, who then gets a glimpse of love, or feels seen all of a sudden out of the blue, and it's a complete surprise. And she's in a loveless marriage. She's trapped in her way, even though she's high society, she's trapped in this patriarchy and lives with this man, who obviously is a narcissist, and she's trapped, and carries a big burden that we don't know yet. And then to see someone like that fall in love and basically lose their decorum and try to sort of keep it together, and feel alive again by being touched by someone. And I found that, yeah, a very touching thing about this character, that all of a sudden yeah, she loses it a bit.
Did you make any discoveries while playing her? Anything that hadn't occurred to you before?
Well, I guess maybe the fact that the church is such a, like, drugs, and I because again, like, I am raised atheist. I don't have that. I don't, as much as I'm very interested in spirituality, I don't have that in my genes. There's no, even though my grandfather was a vicar, funny enough, but I never really thought of the church as a, it was so far away from me, and in her character, she really needs it. It's her way to calm her mind down. So it is like drugs, or like any addiction. Like, it could be shopping, could be chocolates, could be cigarettes. um, and it's not necessarily bad. I don't have a, yeah, I don't have a judgment, but yeah, I guess if you were asking me, like, what did you, what changed or something, that might be that. Even whatever layer of society you're in,
Mm.
so much we have in common, and especially women in the show have in common.
Mhm.
They all have to sort of free themselves from what they, from the, literally the corset they're in.
I love that.